Hello and welcome to Planet Pulse on Firstpost. The Earth is constantly changing, and in recent years, for the worse. Summers are getting hotter and winters harsher. Rising sea levels, floods, droughts, wildfires, and torrential rain have been disrupting lives across continents. The fight against climate change is needed now more than ever. On this show, we bring you all the top stories on the climate crisis, its causes, its brutal effects, and the warriors helping to fight the menace. Flash floods have ravaged the American state of Texas. Incessant rainfall and subsequent thunderstorms have led to devastating floods, unfolding scenes of chaos within a few hours. Over 100 people have been killed in these floods, while the search for the missing continues. Experts believe that climate change is making such extreme weather events more frequent. Our next report gets you more on this story.
Submerged streets, ravaged houses, uprooted trees, and devastation all across. These harrowing visuals are from the South Central American state of Texas. Incessant rainfall led to deadly floods in the central regions of the state. What started as a flood watch alert on the afternoon of July 3rd turned into a warning by midnight. And by the crack of dawn, scenes of chaos and mayhem had unfolded in most parts. Flash floods marooned several counties in Texas beginning the 4th of July. Nature's fury killed over 100 people, while several others continue to remain missing. Both deceased and missing include many children. Kerr County was among the worst hit. The people of the beautiful scenic holiday destination are grieving over the death of dozens. As of July 10th, the report suggested that close to 100 people were still missing in the area, while the aerial videos showed vast swathes of land wiped out.
It was crazy. We were in a spot right here in the corner, and we were waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning by the owner of the RV park here. She was pounding on the door frantically. So we came out of the RV, and when I walked out on the back ledge there, I could see one RV was floating in the water, and the water was just coming up to the back of my RV.
In a gut-wrenching episode, a century-old camp along the Guadalupe River was swept away. The victims at the all-girls Christian camp included children and counselors. Rescue efforts remain in full swing. The US Coast Guard has airlifted people cut off from dry land. While on the ground, teams have been navigating floodwaters to rescue the stranded citizens. Emergency workers have also been wading through mud-piled riverbanks. Efforts are being made to clear the debris.
The hearts of our fellow Texans are breaking every single day because of what people of this community and the surrounding area are going through. There's nothing more important on our hearts and minds than the people of this community, especially those who are still lost. I told them what we were doing, not just today, but what we are going to be doing for the days, weeks, and months to come. This is what they needed to hear. They need to know Texas is in this with the people in the Hill Country right here. We are not leaving until this job is finished.
Even though the citizens are praying for respite and mourning the deceased, a political blame game has already erupted. Misinformation about the deadly floods has been spreading on social media. Left and right-wing users have come up with their interpretations of nature's havoc. The Liberals are blaming staffing and budget cuts by the Trump administration at the National Weather Service. They are pinning the blame on flawed warning systems, a claim that the White House has vehemently rejected, adding that it's a 100-year catastrophe.
They did. I'll tell you, if you look at that water situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
Conservatives, on the other hand, are ramping up conspiracy theories. Right-wing conspiracy theorists suggest that the government caused the flooding through cloud seeding. Multiple experts have denied that. According to experts, the extreme weather, location, and the timing made the floods more destructive. There was a large supply of moisture in the atmosphere. This was due to a tropical storm that led to flooding in Mexico. The moisture-laden air was forced upwards. It built huge storm clouds over hilly Kerr County. These storm clouds produced heavy rains. The weather department reported a swathe of rainfall in just 3 to 6 hours. The data suggests that around 4 months of rain fell in just a matter of hours. It further amplified into thunderstorms in the area along the Guadalupe River. The river swelled rapidly, leading to widespread destruction. Climate change plays a key role in extreme weather events like this. This makes the sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico warmer than normal. Warmer water means more evaporation. This makes more moisture available in the atmosphere. Moist air feeds a storm and leads to such catastrophic events. Floods like those in Texas are more like nature's warning to mankind. Yet we humans continue to not factor the impact of climate change and walk on a self-created path to destruction. This in turn makes distressing natural disasters a frequent occurrence.
Switzerland is home to majestic glaciers, the most compared to any other European country by far. But as the world heats, they face mounting danger. The vaunted glaciers have increasingly started to resemble Swiss cheese because they are full of holes. What's behind this strange scenario? And what does this mean for Switzerland and the world? Our next report tells you more.
Swiss cheese originated in Switzerland. With holes in it, the cheese quickly became the country's cultural export. But do you know what else is part of this club? It's glaciers. Switzerland has more glaciers than any European country by far. And tourists, the world over, are gaga over them. But unfortunately, sheer fandom is not the only reason why Swiss glaciers have been making the headlines lately. Instead, this is the reason. Switzerland's receding glaciers now show a strange phenomenon. They have started to resemble Swiss cheese. These glaciers are now full of holes. And you can guess why. It's all thanks to climate change. Switzerland has lost 1/3 of its glacier volume since 2000. In recent years, as temperatures rise, the melting has accelerated. 10% of Swiss glaciers have disappeared in the last 2 years alone.
So we think back like 30 years ago, when the glaciers were still in a more healthy state, we would have maybe like 4 meters of ice loss per year. And this is now accelerated strongly. In the extreme year of 22, we've seen almost 10 meters of vertical ice lowering in one single year.
And now they are full of holes. But why does this happen? A healthy glacier constantly moves and regenerates. When snow falls at higher elevations, it forms new ice, but only at the upper levels. Meanwhile, older ice melts at the lower levels. This is a dynamic process, and this balance is crucial for glaciers. It keeps them alive. But as the climate warms, melting happens higher up the glacier. This slows down or stops the glacier's movement. So the ice stops renewing. It just sits there, melting. Simply put, the glacier stops being dynamic. So water or air starts moving into the stagnant glacier from below, and holes begin to form inside the glacier. They grow steadily.
If there are some channels in the ice through which air is circulating, this can excavate big holes under the ice. So therefore there is also a new melting process from the base of the glacier. And we are seeing that this is accelerating with climate change again, because we have additional heat inputs from the sides.
Eventually, the roof of the hole collapses, making the hole visible from the surface, giving the damaged glaciers the look of Swiss cheese. And this phenomenon is not just bad for glaciers, but also for us. As Swiss glaciers melt rapidly, the impact is in front of our eyes. In May, a mudslide from an alpine mountain submerged the southwestern village of Platten. A glacier on a mountain had been holding back a mass of rock. As the glacier melted, it gave way to the rock, sending a deadly avalanche into the valley below, wiping the village off the map. And this shocking incident is only the tip of the iceberg. Because the problem is not limited to Switzerland or Europe for that matter. Global temperatures are soaring. Climate concerns have been overshadowed by trade wars, actual wars on the battlefield, geopolitical turmoil, and climate disasters made worse like wildfires. Now, slow-moving glaciers are melting before our eyes. For instance, 23 out of 24 glaciers in the central Himalayas have already suffered mass loss. If things don't change, nearly all glaciers in the world will disappear in the coming centuries. But we don't have to wait until then to see how glacier shrinkage is impacting us. It's hurting agriculture, fisheries, and even electricity. Glacier loss is already hurting water supply of 2 billion people. And it is fueling geopolitical tensions. We are witnessing this in the melting Arctic, with increased militarization in the region. And we're seeing this with melting glaciers in the Alps, forcing Switzerland and Italy to redraw a part of their border. So Swiss cheese-like glaciers may sound fascinating, but they are a sign of the troubling times ahead, of melting glaciers bracing to unleash an avalanche of destruction.
Next, we want you to imagine this. Your favorite matcha latte suddenly becomes too bitter. Your go-to crispy bacon for breakfast, way too soggy to make or save your mornings. Or even your favorite sushi roll, suddenly tasting nothing less than pure regret. No, it's not the chef. Welcome to the flavor fallout of climate crisis. This is yet another chapter of how climate change is not just melting ice caps or raising sea levels. It is now coming for your taste buds.
When we talk about climate change, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Maybe heat waves or rising sea levels. But what if it's changing something closer to home, like the flavor of the food you eat? Yes, scientists are raising alarm over it. Your everyday bites? They are undergoing a slow transformation. Let's look at onions first. Probably the meanest vegetable you'll ever find. If it has made you cry uncountable times, prepare for something worse. In 2024, researchers found out onions get more pungent when grown under drought conditions. Onions produce more sulfur when exposed to hot and dry conditions, making them stronger and smellier. So now, chances are you might start weeping even before chopping. Beer lovers, get in line. You all are not getting spared either. Europe's legendary hops, yes, those flowery bits that give your drink the kick, are losing their bitterness. This was found in a 2023 research by the Czech Academy of Sciences, and Cambridge University found hotter summers are stressing the plants and changing the flavor of beer itself. Beer is just the start. Lettuce and tomatoes have been affected as well. A 2022 study showed lettuce exposed to extreme heat grows faster, but turns bitter, damaged, and less marketable. In Wisconsin, a 2019 study from UC Berkeley found that droughts and temperature spikes affect dairy cows. They alter the milk they produce, and this in turn is changing the flavor of local cheese. So, next time when cheddar is off, the cows might have had a rough summer. In Spain, even the iconic Iberico ham is feeling the heat. Farmers say it's starting to taste different. And it's not the chef's fault, it's the pig's diet. Climate change is messing with acorn seasons, and acorns are what give this ham its rich, nutty vibe. Fewer acorns means the pigs are fed alternate diets, and that's like swapping olive oil for vegetable oil. And it's not just about flavor, it's also about nutrition. India's National Institute of Nutrition compared wheat and rice samples from 1989 to 2017. It showed modern crops grown under intense climate pressure now contains less protein, iron, and zinc. So, from farm to your fridge, climate change is quietly rewriting the menu. Our food may be losing its very character. This isn't some future scenario. It's happening now, and maybe it is already on your plate.
And that's it on Planet Pulse for today. We will see you again next week at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.